Today in the crypto space, we see the market very hesitant. Bitcoin right around the $89,000, Ethereum right around 2,200, not doing much. And the altcoins, a mix of green and red throughout the market. We have some good gainers like BGB, CRO, Move is doing pretty good, and SUI. And of course, there are a couple of dips like Hyperliquid. We have Tau and Cardano coming down for a bit of a retracement. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about SUI. What's going on with SUI, and should we be scaling in? You know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, what's going on here with this market? We do see a bit of volatility, a bit of uncertainty as well, because the market is not getting much volume. In fact, we're seeing the trading volume actually come down here in the last little bit. Not a good look at all. Even if you're trading lower time frames, it's a little bit hesitant. There's a lot of chop action right there on the lower time frames. And we see the total market cap rolling over, which is also not something that we want. We want to see a growth in this market rather than a dip. And without trading volume, it's going to be very hard to get a sustainable rally to the upside. So this is one of the major concerns. I feel like a lot of people are waiting to see what happens tomorrow. Guys, tomorrow we're going to have some news coming from Trump about what's going on with the Bitcoin, what's going on with crypto, what's going on with the reserves. We're going to get something, guys. And a lot of us are quite hesitant because as of now, every time Trump speaks, we get crazy volatility, and it doesn't always end with a pump. Sometimes it is with a dump. And the reality is, a lot of people are getting used to that. Could this be the last opportunity where we finally pump and never return? It could be the case. But nonetheless, guys, make sure that you practice healthy risk management. We do see that SUI right now is definitely looking really good. And if we talk about why is SUI looking that great at the current moment? And again, it's all about Trump. President Trump, World Liberty Financial partners with SUI Network to launch a strategic SUI reserve. Guys, I don't know if this is official. I'm not sure if this is like something that's actually going to happen. But sometimes a buy the rumor, sell the news is all we really need. So guys, this is looking pretty good. Now I'm wondering what's going to be said tomorrow about this. And for the matter, all the other altcoins that was mentioned as reserve, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, as far as crypto, what's going to happen with that, right? So maybe we get a little bit of clarity, maybe a bit of a clarity ultimately is what's going to get us really bullish and get the market going, because we don't like uncertainty. We want a little bit of confidence that we are going in a particular direction. And as you can see today, we're getting a lot of dips throughout the market, including the traditional markets. And join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. We'll definitely take a look at the traditional markets, the DXY and so on, to see what's going on with the financial industry altogether. What's going on with the markets? What's going on? Bitcoin, at the end of the day, if we look through the top 100, we can see a lot of hesitation. We have XRP getting a slow grind to the upside, but a few dips throughout the market, rolling over. Cardano slightly rolling over. Cardano did very well, but if you see this dip and this rounded top, that's clear distribution, guys. Be very careful with Cardano at the current moment, because there is a bit of news saying, or Charles came out saying, well, he wasn't invited to tomorrow's meeting. And what happens there is that people start getting a little bit, again, uncertain, fearful, uncertainty and doubt starts to spread. So Cardano tech wise is still very valid. I know ecosystem is not there, but the tech stack is amazing. So for me, I think Cardano could hold up eventually, no matter what happens in the immediate short term. And as we keep on coming down, we see good chain link moves to the upside. It's only 2.8%, guys. So whatever the case is, whatever we're bullish on at the current moment, we have to understand that we're getting green, but it's not that much. Even SUI, even though it is outperforming the market overall, it's only a 6.3% run to the upside and didn't even make a higher high on the 1 hour, right? This is the 1 hour fractal. It didn't even break structure to the upside. So this is something that we got to be really concerned with, is that, are we celebrating every little pump, or are we going to start really celebrating, big structural changes? And currently speaking, on the 4 hour, we are in a downwards trending market, which is not a good thing. We want to start getting to the upside here. We see CRO looking pretty good. We have some of the exchange tokens looking pretty good, I'll admit, like CRO and a few others. So I'm concerned or curious as to what's really happening behind the scenes. Usually that's a representation of market participation. So we're going to have to be very steady there. We have Move, maybe something else that might be spoken about tomorrow. Something, 18% to the upside. That's really good. And again, a few more, but their general market is down, not looking the greatest, rolling over just a bit. Be careful out there, guys. All right, guys, let's begin. I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin our analysis talking about Bitcoin, and we'll use Bitcoin as a leading indicator like we usually do. You can see that based on this beautiful artwork that I got going on here that's starting to look like an absolute mess, we can see that Bitcoin at the end of the day might be coming down and respecting this trend to the downside. Okay, so that's the bigger concern here. How much lower do we go? Do we finally get a change of character here, or do we come down for a lower low and hit 72K? Guys, let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, I'm fully aware that right now this chart is an absolute mess, but it is the reason why it's like that. It's because we've been hesitating around this zone for so long that the TA is slowly building up. We're trying to really figure out, well, we can, taper this in a little bit. We don't need that to be that big. Okay, we see a nice, beautiful double top right here with that rollover, and we're getting follow through right now for that rollover. Now, the question is this follow through done? We got a few lower lows and a few lower highs. We are currently above the horizontal support here at 85 and change, 85,800, which is good if we stay above it. But we're also getting rejected right above at 91,700 or 800, right around this zone. This is the zone right now that we're going to be bouncing around with, and we're looking for a breakout out of this because we have here support, here resistance, and the reality is if we break below 85,800, guys, there's a good chance that we come back down, fill this wick, and ultimately fall through the volume gap and come to the next liquidity zone, which is at $73,000. Guys, we have to entertain that as a possibility. Make sure that you have cash just in case that happens. Make sure that you're able to get offensive at that level if it does happen, because that's the way you're going to be able to accumulate, because that could be the opportunity of the cycle, is to be able to accumulate here. Obviously, we'll take it level by level. At the current moment on the daily, we did get oversold, and maybe we're going to be going for an overbought state. It could happen, go up for another top. Now, does it make a higher high, or is it going to be a lower high confirmation where eventually we roll over and come down even further? Right now, this is healthy. I like this. I appreciate it. At least we're getting a bit of relief. Let's see if we get a bit of a dip here, come back a little bit, and then go for another expansion and finally get overbought. And when we see the momentum get overbought once again, we'll make some critical decisions, because ultimately what we want to see is the purple line get overbought, but we want that to be a higher high on price action. If it is not a higher high and we get a full reset on momentum and then we start diverging to the downside and it is not a higher high, guys, it's not a good look. That means that the bulls do not have enough strength to continue the trend to the upside, and it will be official that we are making lower lows and lower highs. Not a good look. Okay, so we're not going to get overly bearish. We're not going to get overly bullish. I believe that this is the current moment to stay neutral and slowly DCA and accumulate healthily, slowly. Don't take too much risk. Do your research. Get fundamentally bullish on some of these projects, guys. And of course, deep dives. Deep dives, get prepared. Sunday, I'll be releasing the deep dive. So make sure that you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on that release on Sunday. All right, guys, let's jump into the project of the day. Given that we should be very neutral on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is still in that downtrend, what is going to be happening with SUI? SUI is also in a downtrend. SUI is also in a downtrend. Yes, it did get some good news, obviously, and it's not really confirmed. And that lately that news hasn't been very, very reliable. In fact, that it could end up being another dump. We don't know because we've seen this before. But we can say, is there a couple of things that we can put on our list, which we see, lower lows on the price action. Okay, that's great to to see a divergence. We see higher lows on the momentum. My only concern about this divergence, if you are looking at this divergence as a tradable opportunity, primarily you shouldn't only be trading divergences. That's a big problem, because ultimately divergences are not strong indicators on their own. They're great when you have confluence with market structure. Market structure is currently still in a downtrend, making lower lows and lower highs below the 200 daily EMA. That is not a stance. That's not a place where you want your price action to be. And with that form, with that structure, you want to see a higher high and a higher low above the 200 EMA, and at least in the progress of back testing it to spring right off of it. Then I'm interested. So I'm going to be really clear about momentum at the current moment. Momentum, the risk you're taking of going into longs at the current moment, which could end up being great. I'm not saying it can. Just statistically speaking, after consolidation here, the likelihood of coming down and getting oversold is still possible. And I definitely want to entertain that possibility to come down and get oversold. And especially that we see that there's a lot of negativity still out there. One more sweep of the lows could definitely bring us to a great opportunity to buy the dip. Okay, so just keep in mind that that's where you really want to be aggressive. It doesn't mean that you can't buy and get offensive at the current moment. It's just that be prepared that we could come down for another lower low, maybe sweep the lows below the volume gap, and maybe hunt some of this liquidity here on these two tops right here, which could be a level of which you might see some people capitulate and, you know, basically sell off their bags on a loss. And that's when we can go and buy those liquidations. Like I mentioned, we're still in a downtrend. Okay, so that's that. Now, if we look at the trend oscillator, EMAs, everything, expansion, red histogram bars, very indecisive price action here on this oscillator. Not really using it as an edge because at the current moment, it's not giving it to us. So we got to move on. And finally, market structure. Clearly, market structure is still in a downtrend. We're still making lower lows and lower highs. I understand that we're hitting horizontal support, which I appreciate. This top and this top is very close by, and I appreciate that as well. The volume profile is going to suggest that we could get a little bit of support on this volume node right into this level. The thing is that the market makers, you know, the bears, at this case that they're coming down, they're going to want to attempt to chip away at some of this. It could be the case that it does. We got one attempt, chipped away at a little bit. What about another one? Given that the trend is still downwards, it could still happen. What we really want to do is see an indication of a change of character, a change of direction, a pivot point structure. If we get bullish divergence, which we do, just keep in mind, it's not oversold. If we come up, make a nice rounded bottom, sure, I'll take that. That's a good sign of accumulation. If we break above these local highs, that would be absolutely awesome. But more importantly, if we do break above and we get a confirmation low, a higher low, and we break above the previous high, we are confirming a change of character. We are no longer making lower lows and lower highs. In fact, we're making higher highs and higher lows. And that's what I would like to look out for. And then we start looking for the change of character, break a structure, and a higher within this trend to the upside. And the break of character more or less would be slightly getting above the point of control at $3.50. If we can break above 350, which is this zone right here, I think that it would be a valid place to expect a massive continuation to the upside. In the meantime, if you are seeing this divergence and follow through, you might want to buy a little bit here. You might want to buy a little bit here. You might want to accumulate within this range as we get the pivot point structure and then expect that reversal. At the current moment, we're still early, guys. However, the catalyst could be tomorrow. We could hear SUI make the news. We could hear Trump talk about SUI once again. We could hear them talk about Cardano, Solana, XRP, who knows what, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Move, and all the Rondo. All of them could be listed. Who knows what's going to be listed? But ultimately, be prepared because we're still in a downtrend. And Trump, every time he speaks, we get volatility up, down, left, right. We go all over the place, and we just need to be prepared. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at the 4-hour real quick to see what really is happening for entry. You can still see lower lows and lower highs. If we can build ourselves some sort of confirmation, even if it is a little blow flag right into this level, let's get at least a flag where we can put a stop loss and take a chance. That's fine. You take a small loss, you move on. If it comes down to the 886, 786, 886, 1-to-1 ratio, double bottom, fine, you put a stop loss underneath here. You take the chance, take a small loss, but maybe you could catch a beautiful reversal right into this level, like I suggested, to finally start moving to the upside. And horizontal support is definitely there. Guys, if you are more comfortable not trading volatility with tomorrow's news event, sometimes it's better just to sit on your hands and wait and see what happens, and eventually just buy into the follow through when we get some confirmations. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. See you tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the div.